What we learned today on this tour was that the Duwamish River, it originally was a 15-mile stretch of water, but then they shrank it into a 5-mile stretch in order to have boats ship cargo easily.
And I learned that a lot of the wildlife in the Duwamish River is polluted or is harmed by the pollution.
Cool.
I learned that this guy named John Bell, what's his name? Yeah. This guy
Beal, I think, Beal.
Beal, yeah, John Beal basically started the whole cleanup on the Duwamish.
Pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah.
I guess I learned that big industries pollute this river. It's a river, yeah. And that they cover up the pollution with gravel, but they don't get rid of it. They just cover it up.
This trip?
Sure. I think what I learned that was most interesting to me was that I think 62% of the river is not planned on being cleaned at all, and they're just going to let kind of natural systems take care of that. And I found that upsetting.
Me too. Thanks. Okay, what did you learn on this trip today?
What did I learn? I learned that the Duwamish River is a super fun site.
What does that mean?
It means that the government authorized excessive spending in order to clean up the river.
Why would they do that?
Because it's highly contaminated.
How do you feel about living near a contaminated river like this?
It makes me feel unclean, gross, that I might be consuming salmon or other marine wildlife that came from this river.
Good. How about you? What was your takeaway message today?
That the EPA, I think it was called, was doing is trying to do a lot of different things to help clean up the river. Most of them seem like they wouldn't be that effective, but they're still trying to clean it up any way they can.
What do you think they should do?
I think that I really don't know. I think dredging seems alright, trying to get rid of all the mud and stuff at the bottom of the river that has all the PCBs.
So we got a dredger over here, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's a barge that's dredging?
I believe to be so.
Okay, thanks so much. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. What did you learn about on this Duwamish trip?
Okay. Well, we learned about the fact that the Duwamish River is a Superfund site, which means it's one of the most polluted rivers in the entire country, and therefore requires federal government funding to actually clean up that pollution. Additionally, we learned that the Duwamish River is actually in many ways progressing, and it is being cleaned up. You can see that by the fact that wildlife is coming back, like seals and bald eagles, etc. We learned that there are a variety of methods that are currently being employed in an attempt to clean up the Duwamish River, such as capping, which is a dubious method in which they take sand and just cover the polluted bottom of the river. Not the most effective method. There's also, what's it called again? Dredging. Yes, dredging, which is where they actually take up the pollution and deal with it.
Nice picture.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, where are we here?
We're underneath this bridge. Is this the bridge to South Park or a different one?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, where, which is also an intro. We learned about environmental injustice, where communities that are lower income and populated by minorities, such as South Park and Georgetown, do not always get the same privileges as other communities. For example, when this bridge failed, they decided that they weren't going to have the funds to totally refurbish it, and as a result, South Park lost most of its industry because it lost its connection to Seattle, and that really hurt them. Whereas if it happened to a different community, a more affluent community, that probably would not have been the case.
It's true.
We learned a variety of things.
Thank you. What about you? What were some of your takeaway messages on this trip?
I learned that people used to fish in this river because it was one of the major sources for food and other sustenance like that for both people and animals. But now, because the river is so polluted because of the industry, it's not such a good source because the plants and animals are all polluted. but people still fish in it either because it's an important heritage site or because they have such a low income that they can't afford anything else.
Right.
But yeah, people are still eating the food that comes out of it, and that food contains carcinogens and stuff like that. So it's not a very good source of food and water.
Great. Thank you both very much. That was awesome.
Thank you.
So what do you want to tell us about the Native Americans you learned about on this trip?
Well, obviously, this river was named after the Duwamish group that was literally here. And, well, they were here originally because then they would fish until, well, we had all these corporations that moved in, right? And they were going to excavate this one place until they found the artifacts, and then they're like, some people are like, no, don't excavate it. But then back then they weren't nice at all, so they're like, nope, we're going to do this anyways. But then they had some people from the university come over and like, yep, these are real. And so I guess now they have that place preserved. And then there are other like tribes here, like shoot, I forgot what the other one, but they have fishing rights, but the federal government doesn't, which is, I guess.
Do you remember what he said about Chief Sealth?
That yeah, his mom was like, I guess, the chief of the Duwamish tribe. Yeah, that. And then I guess you would say he got little recognition or something like that. Yeah, that one. And yeah.
That's good. Thank you.
Once they clean up the early action site, 50% of the river is clean.
Perfect. Thank you. This is the captain of our boat here, and I was wondering, Captain, what's your favorite part of this trip?
I would think the industry part, how they're cleaning up their act, and seeing what they're doing. See how the shorelines are changing.
So you've seen some improvement along the way?
Yeah, I was just talking to him about it.
That's
it seems like the water. It seems like some of the water lines, there used to be a dark brown stain that used to happen. I'm seeing less and less of that.
Oh, good.
I'm not sure if it's from the cleanup but it seems that way.
Nice. Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Da-Ching, what have you learned about this from there?
I just learned this industry river and it used to be beautiful, and now you see all the industry built up, but they are cleaning up. So I'm looking forward to see every year to come here to see difference made by human to clean up the environment.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
I learned about PCBs and bioaccumulation.
What? Tell us a little bit more about that. What does that mean?
Bioaccumulation is when you get diseases basically from eating the things in the river that are bad.
Okay, thank you.
The whales got boobies, and they breastfeed their whale babies. And their first whale baby dies because there's so much bioaccumulation in her booby milk that her first baby dies.
Bioaccumulation of what? Toxins?
Yeah.
This is Alberto. He's the awesome, and he's the one that takes us on this trip, and I'm going to have him tell you what he thinks is so important about this Duwamish River.
Well, the Duwamish River is super important, first of all, because it's Seattle's only river, so we really need to take care of Seattle's only river, and because the pollution in the river affects disproportionately low-income families and fishing families and the tribes, so we need to make it better, not only for the environment, but for all of these people that depend on the river for sustenance and for recreation, and to live along the shores of the Duwamish.
You do great work here, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks for taking us on this trip.
Sure.